This
Start with you.
conference will now be recorded.
Figure you probably would.
It says it's recording.
All right. The Cottage Grove Town Board will hold a public meeting beginning at 7 PM on Tuesday, September 3rd, 2024 at the Town Hall at 4058 County Road N, Cottage Grove, Wisconsin. You can also join the meeting by GoToMeeting. We have a quorum present. The meeting was posted at the Town Hall and on the website. I'll call the meeting to order and we'll stand for the flag.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. You have the minutes of the August 19th meeting in your packet.
Move approval as presented.
Second.
Motion by Williams, second by DePlay to approve the minutes for August 19th as presented. Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. You have closed.
I do, but I didn't bring them. Next time.
Next time.
Okay, moving on to finance report and approval of bills.
Move approval of checks 37,315 to 37,351 to be paid, and we make EFT payments to the tune of $23,888.12.
Motion by DePlay, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Fonger to approve checks 37,315 through 37,351 and the EFT payment of $23,888.12. Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. You also have the unaudited cash and investment balance of $2,452,746.63. You have the credit card charges. And then you have the July per diems.
August per diem? August per diem?
August per diems, yes. Sorry.
Move approval of the, I was worried about it. Move approval of per diems as presented. Second.
Motion by Anders, second by DePlay to approve the August per diems as presented. Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Moving on, next item is public concerns. Public's opportunity to speak to the town board about any subject that is not a specific agenda item. No one online either. All right, move on to Plan Commission recommendations. Sylvan Kurt petitioner, Sylvan F. and Rosemary C. Kurt revocable trust property owner petition to renew CUP 2478 for a secondary farm residence at 4558 Ridge Road. And you have the minutes of the Plan Commission meeting. Their action was to approve the renewal of the CUP for a secondary farm residence at 4558 Ridge Road for as long as it is occupied by a farm employee. That motion carried 7-0.
Sounds good. I would move the same motion to approve the renewal of the CUP for a secondary farm residence at 4558 Ridge Road for as long as it is occupied by a farm employee.
Motion by Williams. Is there a second?
You need to go
Second.
through those conditions at this level, do you think?
We approved this some years ago, didn't we?
Yeah.
We did.
Yeah.
So why do we have to go through that again?
5-year renewal.
Renewal, 5 years.
Yeah, but I'm saying to go through any environmental stuff or whatever.
Because it's a new,
Has it?
You think it'd just be the first time we did it?
I didn't put the packet, the planning commission stuff in, oh, you have it. Okay. Should be part of the
All
comment.
right, standards for conditional use permits. First one is the establishment, maintenance, or operation of the conditional use will not be detrimental to or endanger the public health, safety, comfort, and general welfare. Planning Commission found all 8 of them to have been met. I assume you're shaking your head in agreement.
Yes.
Yes, I agree.
Mhm.
Yes.
Second one, the uses, values, enjoyment of other property in the neighborhood for purposes already permitted shall be in no foreseeable manner substantially impaired or diminished by establishment, maintenance, or operation of the conditional use.
Agreed.
Agreed.
Number 3, the establishment of the conditional use will not impede the normal and orderly development and improvement of surrounding property for uses permitted in the district.
Agreed.
Agreed.
Adequate utilities, access road, drainage, and other necessary site improvements have been or are being made to accommodate the conditional use.
Agreed.
Agreed.
They're all in.
Yeah.
Adequate measures have been or will be taken to provide ingress and egress so designed as to minimize traffic congestion in the public streets. True.
True.
Agreed.
That the conditional use shall conform to all applicable regulations of the district in which it is located. It will be.
Yes.
The conditional use is consistent with the adopted town and county comprehensive plans.
Mhm.
Yes.
Explain how the use and its location in the farmland preservation zoning district are consistent with the purposes of the district. To sustain the farm operation with another.
Generation.
Yes.
Yeah.
Explain how the use and its location in the farmland preservation zoning districts are reasonable and appropriate considering alternate locations. It's right next to the farm. Can't get much closer.
In the farm.
Explain how the use is reasonably designed to minimize the conversion of land from agricultural use or open space use.
Couldn't be better than having it right there.
Right. Explain how the use does not substantially impair or limit the current or future agricultural use of surrounding parcels zoned for agricultural uses.
It enhances it.
It doesn't.
Yeah, I agree with Steve.
Explain how construction damage to land surrounding or to land remaining in agricultural use is minimized and repaired to the extent feasible. It's already been done. So did we vote?
No.
Motion was basically to sustain the Plan Commission's findings that to approve the renewal of the CUP for the secondary farm residence at 48558 Ridge Road for as long as it is occupied by a farm employee. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried.
I voted for it, but he's a pretty sneaky guy, I'll tell you that Sylvan Kurt.
Yeah, well, we keep an eye on him, right?
Yeah, boy, that's for sure.
Next item, discuss and consider,
I'm sorry, I heard Christie was the first motion. Who seconded?
I did, I think.
Fine.
Okay, thank you.
Next item, discuss and consider approval of certified survey map for James Schmidt, Mary Wick, and M&W Olson associated with the rezone number 12053 at 1784 Leon Lane. We had the CSM in your packet.
So that one was to combine 2 residential lots into one so that they could get their solar panels on the same lot as the house to get the energy credits. if you remember. It also added a little extra to them on the bottom right. That's where the Olson came in.
Motion to approve drawing number 6169-23 dated 8/5 of 2024 as presented.
Second.
Motion by Anders, second by Duplay to approve certified survey map number 6169-23 dated 8/5 of 24. Any discussion on that motion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Next item, discuss and consider approval of the pre-development agreement for plat review of Kennedy Hills First Edition and of the agreement document as to form for future use without board approval.
So this one was an agreement that actually Connie drafted for us years ago. It's a lot more inclusive than the similar agreement that we used in the case of the Swellheim Business Park. And I wanted to go back to this because I think it sort of sets the tone a little better for the developer to understand what's coming than the simple one that we've used in the past. And so I did show it to Bill and he said it was fine, but he did recommend that you guys look at it so that Chris and I could execute this with future developers without having to bring it to the board every single time, so we can keep things moving in the early stages of a development. But you'll notice also that there were some red line changes that the attorney for Kennedy Hills asked for. And so one thing you should consider is if you want to make those changes just for this one, or if you want them to be in a form that's approved for.
Did our lawyer look at these?
He did, and he was okay with them.
Okay.
He had a comment, and I think it's in there somewhere about one of them, meaning that we'll be watching really close that they're not getting behind on paying any bills.
I have a question on page 3 of 5, recording.
Yeah, that's the one that he asked to have taken out of there.
Okay,
recording.
good.
And I thought that was kind of, I mean, when I first saw it, looked at it again, this one I sort of thought, yeah, it's kind of silly to record that because by the time you're recording the plat, this is probably over with. So that was one of the things that he asked to come out. And then, page here, and then in the one that, the first phase of Kennedy Hills did sign this exact same agreement without all the red lines. But in that one, Dave Resop, the developer, the head of Kennedy Hills at that time, was personally named in the first paragraph. And Corey Clemens did not want to be personally named in there. And so his attorney asked to just have Kennedy Hills named there. And our attorney was agreeable with that, at least in this case. So that's one thing you might want to think about in the going forward document.
What's the deal with the 10,000?
So they basically put up $10,000 and then like as attorney and engineer fee bills come in that are because of their development, I take it out of that pot until we run out. And then once we run out, I either ask for another 10,000 or if we're kind of towards the end, I'll just kind of bill them as we go then. That makes sure that we are spending their money, not the town's money for the development expenses.
And then later on, we have a regular developers agreement.
Yeah, this is just setting it up.
before we get that far.
Yeah. But this does cover all the expenses that we have through the whole
Up
thing.
until that point, yeah.
Well, even
And they're on their own, or what?
No,
No.
it will be replaced by the full developer's agreement as to
Oh,
what
okay,
they have to do. This
okay, this is for the
this
second,
gives us
iteration.
funds to pay for the attorney and
yeah, got it.
the engineer to do some preliminary work on it.
So this is Dave Reesop.
Not even
Putting it
know.
up or what?
this-
No, he sold it.
Oh, okay,
Sold
whoever
it to this Corey
owns it now,
Clemens.
yeah,
Yeah,
would pay that money down until things are back to normal,
Right.
pretty much, right? Okay. Okay, I'd make a motion to approve it.
Second.
motion by Fonger, second by Williams to approve the pre-development agreement for plat review of Kennedy Hills First Edition and of the agreement document as to the form for future use without board approval. Any discussion on that motion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Next item, discuss and consider proposals for municipal solid waste collection, disposal, and recycling services.
I thought they were all very interesting. I'm glad we looked at them. It's a good learning experience. Lots of reading.
Yes, it was.
And I appreciated your summary. Really appreciate it. Where did I put it?
Does anyone wish to make a presentation, or do we want to go right to questions?
I'd be happy to speak on behalf of Pelletier if you'd be so willing to listen.
Okay,
First and foremost, sorry for being a little late. I was actually in Belleville wrapping up another board meeting and racing to get over here. So thank you so much. Not sure how familiar you are with our company. I've been, feel like I've been pestering poor Kim for about a year now.
You should state your name for her.
I'm sorry, Todd Bolenbach with Pelletier. So I appreciate the
Really
opportunity.
familiar.
Come and
It's reading.
But yeah, no, Pelletier is just kind of a quick summary of local, family-owned, family-operated trash and recycling company located right in kind of where Monona and Madison meet up over here. Owners are third generation in the trash business. Current company as it is, been around for about 45 years. Started serving one community about 20 years ago from a curbside to automated pickup, and we've since grown that to 40 communities around Dane County and the surrounding areas. We service about 76,000 homes right now. Grow our business one community at a time. We've got the people in place, the bandwidth, the trucks. One nice thing about Pelletier is we're, like I said, we're really the only local family-owned company in Dane County. And it's all of our trucks, our sales team, the owners, our customer service team, all right in town here. We're all under one roof. So if there's any issues, our flow of communication is just faster than anybody in the business. We have a fully staffed local customer service team. Should anybody here need to call, and more importantly, any of your residents that need to call, we have people in place. You're not calling another state, another city that nobody knows where the heck Cottage Grove is. You're talking to somebody, and when the phone rings, somebody's going to pick it up, which is a big difference between us and a lot of companies out there. Something that we hang our hat on as a company. Of the 40 communities that we do business with, we have never lost a community to a competitor. Once somebody switched to Pelletier, they've stayed with us because of the service they get, the professionalism, how they're treated. We own and operate our own material recovery facility just off the road here in Madison. We process up to about 300 tons of recycling a day. There's a capability there. We do all the recycling, not only for our customers, for the city of Madison, brings us all their recycling. Through everything that we do there, we're able to recycle a lot more than other communities can. Take things like bagged shredded paper, bagged recycling. A lot of companies won't take bagged recycling that we accept. To-go containers, hot and cold cups, appliances. You got a toaster that doesn't work, throw it in your recycling bin. We take things like that from a recycling standpoint as well. But yeah, no, it's we take a lot of pride in the fact that we've never lost a customer. All of our trucks have GPS on them, tracking cameras. We can remedy any issues really fast. Something that is kind of cool is that we're already also servicing all your neighbors. From Sun Prairie, McFarland, Pleasant Springs, Burke, Bristol, Fitchburg. We recently acquired the city of Monona, is now a customer of ours, and the village of Cottage Grove also just decided to make us their waste and recycling company, which is nice. So we're right here. I mean, trucks break down. It's Wisconsin. The weather's horrible. We're basically have you surrounded. Like if there's an issue, we can come back same day, next day. It's really easy for us to fix any problems. The website is super user friendly. We have a dedicated page for the town of Cottage Grove where residents can go on, get alerts if there's any service issues. But like I said, our flow of communication is second to none in the industry right now. I don't know if it got pointed out in our thing, we do a free shred event for the community once a year. Our bulk item program, we actually do as a kind of pay as you throw program. We don't feel it's necessary to charge the entire town if 1 out of 10 people are using that service and put the onus of that on the resident. But we'll pick up anything. They give us a call, they pay us directly and we come and pick it up. We offer e-waste events. If you ever want to have an electronic event, we offer bulk pickup events, whether that be we bring some dumpsters out for a weekend, you load it up, or we do go door to door to do a community wide. All programs that we have available through Pelletary. But like I said, it's no matter what anybody says, we are the only local family owned and operated trash and recycling company in Dane County. And like I said, I encourage anybody to call any of the communities we do business with and see how they're treated. I promise you could pick any of the random 40 communities and get a good reference on us. Take a lot of pride in that. And again, I just can't thank you enough for giving me the opportunity. It's like I said, I feel like I've been pestering you all for a long time to come in here. So that is it. Yeah, thank you so much. I really appreciate your time tonight. Again, sorry for rolling in here a couple minutes after the meeting started tonight.
Questions?
A little unclear to me about the bins.
Yes.
Are new bins included with the price here, or can we keep the old bins?
There is
Current
2
fee?
pricing options on there.
That was what-
We price it out both ways, and I do apologize if that gets a little busy. But yes, if the town opts to purchase their current carts from Waste Management, or that'd be between you and Waste Management, how that would happen. We're happy to service any of your current carts in place. Any broken carts, replacement carts would be Pelletary carts moving forward. But if you didn't want to pay for those carts, just wanted to start with brand new carts, basically we come in, we send out a mailer to all your residents so they can be like, I would like this size cart or this size cart. Nobody's got to get out the Sawzall and cut off any tops of carts. That's and change sizes there. No, it's but yeah, we let everybody in the community choose what size cart they want.
Thank you.
We probably roll that out mid-December and just start service the first of the year.
Where do you take your garbage to?
We would be Dane County landfill. So basically right off 10 minutes from here, maybe.
Yeah, we know where it is.
Yeah.
How many CNG vehicles do you have? And would you be using one of those in the town of Cottage Grove?
We have right now, I want to say 5, and we are in the process of purchasing more as we speak. We're waiting for them to get in. We are expanding our fleet of CNG trucks. What exact truck we'd be using in here, I don't want to tell you for sure one way or the other because I don't know the answer to that.
What are we talking about? That's the, what's the
Suppressed
abbreviation?
natural gas.
Suppressed
Oh.
As
natural
opposed
gas.
to diesel.
I guess my question relates to, you have a fuel exceeds $4 a gallon, the excise tax. Does that include if you're using CNG vehicles for us?
Compressed natural gas. You know what? That's a terrific question. I haven't had that come up before. We've kind of pushed our fuel surcharge out as far as possible, you know,
Mhm.
over that fuel doesn't go over that price again. Well, Chris, I would have to get back to you on that. I do apologize. I don't know the answer.
Yeah.
And with us having, I want to say 90 vehicles in our fleet between our front load, our rear load, our side load, residential carts, I don't know. And I wouldn't be able to tell you if, you know, a truck breaks down or we're waiting for a new one. You know, it could be a different truck from week to week that's in your community.
Yeah, I guess I'm just not sure how that $4 surcharge, if that price ever gets there, how it affects us. If you've now converted everything over to CNG maybe.
Gotcha. We won't, like I said, we have a ton of vehicles in our fleet right now. We're in the process of purchasing more CNG trucks. We had a plan to get a lot more during COVID, kind of threw a wrench in that with truck delays, things of that nature, and different equipment, mechanics, how those trucks operate, things of that nature. But yeah, I would have to get back to you. Right now, there's no way for me to say yes or no. I'd be running a CNG truck in your community.
And you make a point that the lids have to be closed.
We
They
do.
can't be open this much.
And absolutely, and we leave that to our driver's discretion, and that's, you know, and don't quote me, you know, this, we've all had there. My recycling days went last Wednesday, mine was probably sticking up on this side. The reason being, we don't want them overflowing. If your carts are sticking out, one, they have a higher chance of dumping things on the ground when you're loading it into the truck. And two, we don't want your recycling wet. Soaking wet, corrugated, things of that nature is really contaminates the recycling. So there's that issue as much as anything. We don't want things wet. We want things to be able to dump and not make a mess in the community. But yeah, to answer your question, there's no scenario my driver's going to not pick up a can tilted open this far.
So if you're picking up recycling and during the winter it's windy or in the spring, and while he's dumping it, items are blown out, is he going to pick them up?
That's to answer your question, yes. I mean, our drivers are trained if they're dumping something, it's their fault and something comes out. But another reason with the lids. And that's why we moved to basically almost all side loaders. The old carts, the Corrado style, you probably see them, it almost looks like there's a dumpster on the front. They pour them in there and then when that's full, they dump that in the back. They're messy, that stuff blows around a lot more. When you have a side loader that you're just going from here directly into, you know, a chute that's not much bigger than the size of your garbage can. But another reason we want those lids closed, so you're not exponentially reduces the chance of waste getting blown around. It's usually papers and things of that nature.
Okay. Anyone else have any questions?
I guess I do have a couple of, concerns looking at the list of approved and unapproved materials between the recycling and the trash. And first of all, the idea of that the lid has to be closed almost, I'm going to qualify that based upon your comment. I'm sorry, when it comes to the holidays and people have flattened their boxes, myself included, and that lid is down, and if it's sticking up this far above it, you know, and it's not blowing anywhere, you know, why should I go ahead and buy a clear plastic bag, try to fit a big flat cardboard box or cut up a cardboard box so it fits in a clear plastic bag to set it alongside my recycling bin to be charged an additional amount because my lid isn't tight. And I understand with the side loaders,
Yeah.
don't get me wrong there. that I have a little bit of concern with.
Well, and like I said, that is our driver's discretion. It's a general rule of thumb. We don't want, like I
I
said.
mean,
if you
obviously
got
not a
some second-
6-foot bag box hanging out the
Correct.
sides, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
And like I said, it's 97% of the time those are gonna get picked up as long as it's safe to dump without spilling things all over your yard.
When is glass not a recyclable item?
Windows,
Why isn't a broken window recyclable?
it's because those usually have a
Coating on. them.
coating on them. It's same reason certain poly bags, if something's part polyethylene but has a nylon weave to it, there's no way to separate those in recycling stream. But your glasses, your bottles, anything of that nature, absolutely. But there's not a company out there that's going to recycle a window. It's considered construction debris. That is not a blown pelletary thing, I assure you, sir.
And heavier metal items up to 10 pounds? What difference does it make if it's steel, cast iron, any other kind of ferrous or non-ferrous material? Why is there you guys won't take that stuff?
It's basically through the single stream recycling process, through the equipment, like if you got a brake drum, that is recyclable. But there's no way to have that go through the process and have that properly recycled through the single stream.
So our residents are going to have to find alternative ways of getting rid of it. We'll have to take it to, say, Midwest Steel or what used to be called Midwest Steel, or throw it in the ditch because of the fact there's no place to dispose of it now. I guess that's, we're talking about,
Metal, and I apologize, I'm
Yeah.
not in the least bit trying to get argumentative. Can you currently throw
oh yes,
100 pounds of metal in your recycling bin?
as long as they're able to safely pick it up. I mean, I putter around in my shed, and I do have a waste stream that varies from time to time, recycling wise. And any type of metal that I have been able to put in my recycle bin has been taken.
Again,
And it does include the occasional pair of brake rotors or something else like that.
And it's more of a weight of the can, if we can physically pick it up. I mean, we're not gonna be able to pick up a 200-pound recyclable bin if it's full of metal.
No, I
And
understand
of
that.
course, your scrap metal, things like that, of course we can pick that up.
Okay, but specifically you said like non-recyclable. You're talking about your single stream. I take it your grinders aren't able to narf up a brake drum or a brake rotor or stuff like that, or
Correct.
say an old water pump even kind of thing.
In the first stage of our recycling process, there are physical people there that are hand pulling those out of there. But no, the large pieces of metal do not run through the single stream process. And I'd be more than happy to give you a tour of our facility out there to kind of show you that works. That would ever be of interest to you as well.
And then currently now, I happen to use the county's recycling in Monona Drive, but we do have the ability, there's a limit, I believe. You can recycle motor oil currently now, whereas,
Waste isn't taking it anymore.
what's that?
Waste management isn't taking it anymore.
Okay, I typically don't.
Nobody is.
No, okay. Disregard that then.
If you were awarded the contract, do you know what days of the week you would schedule us for pickup?
I do not.
Okay.
We are in the process of doing all of our routing for next year. We are bringing on some new communities, so it's would be based on routes and town size. We'd probably do something in conjunction with the village to make it relatively seamless, so we're not running around too many days a week, that's for sure.
Did the village decide?
Hmm?
Did the
Yes.
village They did?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They went with you guys?
Yes.
Yep.
Oh,
Okay.
Got another question.
Okay.
What's the price per pound on your e-waste pickup now?
30 cents a pound, I believe.
Kim, do we know how many thousands of pounds we had picked up last year?
Not off the top of my head. I know that if we ever do that again, we're gonna have to do it entirely different because we had a
lot of people from the
lot
village.
of out of town residents bringing stuff.
Yes.
And if we're gonna do that again, it needs to be staffed. Yeah. And I don't know if we even wanna mess around with that. But there's some other alternatives that we can talk about that might be worth looking into. So I wouldn't feel very confident that the number that I had last year this year was anywhere accurate to what the town would actually have.
Okay.
We had, more than a ton of stuff that wasn't ours. Yeah.
I just on a side note with that, our bulk got a big, if who's got an old TV or we could still go and pick that up. Any resident can call us anytime and arrange pickup for that. But yeah, we can post the e-waste event, but definitely something that you want to staff and just not have, here's a thing to throw stuff in.
Yeah. And that's-
but they paid for it.
That's up to the community. Every community is a little different. We have some communities where they have a set list. Like, hey, you've got a TV, it's this size, it's $10. Or a lot of the communities we do the e-waste event in, they just budget that into the year and residents can just come. It's a service to let residents come and drop stuff off. In a roundabout way they end up paying for it, through taxes or assessments, whatever. But I'd say about 3/4 of the places we do don't necessarily charge as they're dropping it off. The town, city, village picks up that expense and does it as a service for the
And
resident.
we paid for that last year?
It was in our contract.
Part of our contract.
That was part of our contract,
It's
right?
been part of our
Yeah.
contract, yes.
It's advanced status.
Okay,
Yes.
thank you very much.
Appreciate your time so much. I'll be hanging out if you got any more questions.
All right, who wants to go next?
You jump in? Sure. My name's Tim Miller. I'm the public safety rep for Waste Management covering this area. And thank you for having us come here to talk to you about our company. Waste Management started in 1968. And at that time, it also was a family-owned company. And like any business that starts off, their goal is to grow. And Waste Management did experience quite a bit of growth over the years, to the point where they went public in 71, and now we're to the point where we have locations in every state. Now, having locations in every state does give us a larger sample size of customers to help us identify needs, trends, different things in the market that are working in one area that we can try in another area that'll help the communities out. We do have a local hauling site here. So just because our headquarters is Houston, Texas, does not mean that there's a building over off of Badger that has 75 employees that live in this area and spend their money in this area. So it's basically a local hauling site with the resources of a nationwide organization. So we do have the service infrastructure that allows us to maintain high service levels. We do have the smart truck technology, that's cameras in the trucks to identify if the cart is out, what it looked like when we picked it up. We do hold the touch truck event in the community. As far as customers needing anything, we do have a couple of different ways for them to communicate. Number one, my cell phone. I would put that out there for anyone in the town. I get calls daily if somebody needs something, a card size changed or something like that. But we have My WM, which is a text feature. If something were delayed, obviously every holiday is bumped if it's after that in the week. And most everyone knows that, but if something were to happen, if it was a weather delay, the My WM feature, they would get an alert on their phone. If you do go on to WM.com, there's a chat function if somebody wanted to go that route. So you've got a phone, a chat, and even a text that would be available to the residents. We also have a couple of tracking services, if there was any interest in that. Lamp tracker for picking up fluorescent bulbs, battery tracker for picking up the lithium ion batteries, which causes headaches if they do get into the truck. They could cause a fire. And we did just upgrade our MRF, our material recovery facility in Germantown. And that is where that facility can handle so much that what we do is we have a transfer truck take it in there to be processed. And that facility is, since they did the upgrade, not even at capacity, it can handle quite a bit more. So that's one way that what we incorporated to try to save money, because it actually does reduce costs having us take it to Germantown for sorting at that huge facility. And we do have an entire fleet of compressed natural gas trucks. That equates to no fuel table on your account, no additional charges there. And yeah, we're bulk items. What we proposed on that was to bill any individual that wanted the bulk items so that we could reduce the overall cost to the town.
Right.
So it's pay as you go if somebody needed that service. E-waste is included in the pricing, but the bulk items, we're just running a 1 day a week route. If anyone needed anything picked up, that would be serviced on that day. We've had a great working relationship over the years, and anybody that sits here and tells you it's going to be perfect is not being truthful. So if anything does come up, it's all how you handle it. So just let us know and we will be responsive. So I look forward to continuing our partnership, but I just want to thank you for your business over the years. I really do appreciate it.
So you supply still the big containers for the town hall here and for Flint Hall and
Yes.
for free?
Yeah, those 2 yarders are included in the
Yeah.
cost. Yes.
Okay.
I think there's 6 of them.
Yeah, really.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, those also are included in the cost.
Yeah. Does your garbage go to Johnson Creek?
Deer Track Park? Yes.
And your recyclables, that's trucked to Germantown?
Correct. Just because they have the ability to process it without having another facility built somewhere.
Customer service is located where?
Customer service is located, again, my cell phone or the online customer service. They have a couple of call centers around the country, but it's only as good as the information put in it. So if there is something that comes up that did not work smoothly and it's because an address and the system shows it falls outside, that's easily corrected. So the ability to have something taken care of through customer service is seamless if the information in there is correct.
I'm just going to say, Tim, first of all, I want to say, Tim, that, I mean, you've been great. I don't have any beefs with you, but I have beefs with customer service almost multiple times a week. Amber will back you up. Our customers can't get through. We have to tell them, no, that you don't have a customer number. You just have to sit there until a person answers. And then they get told they're outside of the area, and it's a nightmare. You know it is. I've told you that 100 times. So
I've heard that.
There's nothing seamless about your customer service. Absolutely not. They don't.
Well, if we were to go to the route, if they wanted to call, again, my cell. I-
And, you know,
I get
you've
somebody-
gone through, you've been great. I'm not complaining about you at all. You and Rich have done a good job. You've had some other people ins and outs through the time. I've been told, I've been reprimanded by people no longer with you who said that I shouldn't be calling them when the residents call me and say, I can't get through, and I'll say, I'll handle it for you. And I be the go-between, and I've been reprimanded that I'm not supposed to be doing that. That kind of stuff I'm sick of.
I can be the go-between.
You have been, and
Yeah.
you've been great. Since you've been in that place, it's been better, but it's still, you know, people want a number that they can call and talk to somebody. You know, unless you want us to publish your cell phone number on our website, you know, we still got a problem.
Right.
But was our original contract with the company you bought out?
Our original contract
Right,
was
isn't that
with
correct?
Veolia.
Original was
Veolia,
Huh?
which was.
Veolia,
Yeah.
And
and then it went to
The
Advance.
only was bought by Advance.
Yeah.
And then,
They
And
bought
the
it.
recycling was really good then even, correct?
yeah,
It
actually,
was, you know, where
Yeah.
the big plant they had, whatever. and
right.
It's just the customer service thing is the only real issue that I know that my son calls quite a bit and he has a very hard time getting through.
Okay.
Very hard.
And I appreciate hearing that, even if it is negative, because it's something that I can then take to, I know exactly who, and have it addressed. So that aspect aside, is everything else
Oh,
been going
I don't,
well?
Well, I don't know how we know about anybody else's customer service. You know, you know what I mean?
no, we don't.
We don't, so
I mean, we do. well,
it
we
seems like good references, you know, around, but I have no clue.
Did
You guys must have fired all the advanced drivers, huh?
That, I don't know about that. Why do you say that?
Because when they were running the roads, all we had was oil spilled everywhere,
Oh,
Oh,
could have been,
but they're still hard on the brakes.
could have been the truck upgrades.
Yeah. Drivers come to a stop pretty fast every once in a while and lay the black marks, but they usually wears away.
do all three companies, do we get the big containers for town hall? And
Yes.
no, I didn't see that, in the other ones.
Part of the RFP that
Okay,
we had to have free service for here, Flint Hall, Hearst Station, police station.
Police station.
Do we know who really owns our containers?
The contractor does.
Yes.
That's what our contractor says. They.
Yes,
contract says.
Okay.
what do you mean? What would you think different?
Well, way back when we went with Veolia, I thought at the time we went with a 5-year contract and then we extended it. And I thought during that time that they said, if you go to a 10-year, they're yours.
Oh, I don't remember that.
I pulled up there's nothing really explicit in that original contract with Veolia about it. It just says they're gonna provide them, just gets going. And then the 10-year one says they remain the contractors.
So if we would change, then you would come by and pick up all those old containers?
Correct.
Or you were gonna come up with a price to sell them to us.
Yeah, and that was,
I heard
Not
you're,
very
I heard that you're
cost
selling them to the village for $1.
no, that's what the village wanted, but a dollar was not feasible.
That's not what I heard. I heard it was accepted. But maybe you haven't told them yet. I don't know.
Questions?
Are they the same size containers? I mean,
Basically, I think
Yeah.
everybody was
Yeah.
talking
Yeah,
96
96.
gallon.
With the option for smaller if they want it.
Yeah.
I have one of the smaller ones and I like them a lot. I will be honest with you. I had two. I had the recycling and the garbage, the same size. Unfortunately, the recycling truck ate it and it disappeared at one time. It wasn't there and I came back and I knew it was there. And I called, they said
That
it
is-
must have fallen.
That is one of the downsides to the smaller ones in that arm. But we-
I think all of us could attest to that. Sometimes that happens with the
Yeah.
small cats.
So you put your garbage in your neighbors?
No.
It had to go somewhere. Mike.
I'm thinking.
No.
She's pretty sneaky.
Now I have the middle size, and it's fine. But I have to admit, I like having a smaller garage. This fits in our garage. But I have not ever had any problems. Everything is, except for the one time when our bin disappeared.
Sure.
It has been excellent service. Excellent service
Thank
the
you.
whole
Good to hear.
time.
Anyone else? All right, thank you.
Again, thank you for your time. I do appreciate your business.
How about LRS?
Good evening, everybody.
Hey,
My name is Justin. I'm the Municipal Services Coordinator for LRS. Just as everybody else said, I really appreciate you guys allowing me the time to come in here and speak with you this evening. Hopefully you've had a chance to go through the proposals. I know Karen sent over an email last week with some initial questions, so hopefully she was able to get those answers out to you guys, and hopefully that kind of cleared some of the things up on there. Just based on some of the things that we've already discussed, current pickup days. So we are proposing that the current pickup days would, I know right now you're at Monday and Tuesday. We would be looking to switch that to Wednesday and Thursday. As you can see in the proposal, we do have a lot of marketing material that goes out to residents when we do transition new communities. So they get welcome packets, which is going to include all of the information that they're going to need, how to contact LRS, all of the details regarding the transition, changes in service day, things of that nature. There is a website that is, based for Town of Cottage Grove that will be built out. And I actually have my hands in doing that and building that out. So if there's any, information that you guys specifically want me to include on there, that's definitely something that we can work with. And I can, I work directly with our marketing team to kind of build that stuff out. I am based out of our Janesville office. So we would actually have 2 locations that would be responsible for servicing Town of Cottage Grove. And in my mind, I think that's even better. There's, more hands on deck. We've got more supervisors involved in that. So, we would be looking to service the recycling out of our Monona location. So right next door, we've got our the Forest Materials Recovery Facility. That one is where the recycling materials would be taken. Trash would be serviced out of our Janesville location. Again, that is my kind of home base. So that's where my office is located. And that's also where our customer service center is located. So all of the customer service reps and myself are in the same building every day. So it's kind of the same thing where, if a call gets escalated and for some reason any of you guys are getting a complaint from a resident, you'll have my direct contact information. You can reach out to me directly and I can work with our customer service. We've got all the same capabilities with our trucks in terms of the GPS tracking systems and the cameras. So that's something that our customer service does have the ability to access. So they can go ahead and request video if there's, a question of what time items were being placed out and things of that nature. God forbid any damages or anything like that, we have the ability to look into that kind of thing. So it is very helpful. It's something I have the ability to do as well. So, if you send me something, any issues or anything like that, I can go ahead and look into that. Our response time is very good. Like I said, I work directly with the customer service reps on a daily basis. I'm fine having my direct phone number handed out to residents. It's not necessarily something that we're going to promote because I think that our response time is pretty good with the customer service center. We've got the BL Town Service email inbox, which is just for Wisconsin residents. And that's something that I also have access to view as well. So typically we like to have residents emailing into that or calling our customer service center directly. And I have my hands in all of that stuff. So I'm working on a day-to-day basis with other communities that we service, a couple of the references that were included on there, some of your neighbors, Westport, Cambridge, Deerfield, the town and village, Blooming Grove. So we are in the area. Like I said, we've got several locations throughout the state of Wisconsin. We've got the annual e-waste drop-off event, which on the pricing sheet, it should have that included in the pricing. We've got all of the commercial containers for the municipal-owned locations. That's also included in the cost of the proposal. One of the things that you had mentioned to us was, if you are able to acquire the containers from Waste Management, I had a discussion last week with our team internally, and that's definitely something that we will consider. Although, the price that is proposed right now is including the carts that would be rolled out. We have a very good relationship with our third-party cart delivery team. So they'll come out here, they'll be responsible for delivering the carts. And then we'll have members of our operations team out here as well, assisting with that entire process. And that always seems to go pretty smooth. You know, I can be of assistance in that as well. You know, if you've got the list of addresses, there's usually not a whole lot of issues with the delivery of new containers. And I think it just helps with the cleanliness of the community. That way we don't have a bunch of different containers. And that's another thing too, is like at the start of the contract, everybody's going to be getting new containers. And we've got, you know, a lifespan, be approximately 10 years on those containers versus the ones you've already got on site. We might have, you know, we might run into issues where a year from now, we've got a resident that, oh, I've had my container for X amount of years, container's busted, and now we got to come out, and now we've got a bunch of different labeled containers. Obviously, the ones that we would be delivering at that point would be LRS containers, which is why we like to do the initial rollout and just deliver brand new containers to everybody, because it limits the amount of inquiries that we're going to get later on from residents saying, hey, I've got a damaged cart, and now it needs to be replaced. Aside from that, that's really about all I wanted to go over with you guys. Again, I appreciate it. And if there's any questions, feel free to fire away.
What are folks supposed to do with the foam boxes?
So the foam is not recyclable. I'm pretty sure that was.
Yes,
listed on-
that's correct. You're right.
Yeah.
Does that go into regular trash then?
I believe that should be going in the regular trash, yes. That's, you're not gonna have to schedule any like specific pickup for foam items. It's just not allowed in our recyclable, our list of, you know, accepted
So
recyclables.
it's just gotta go in the regular garbage then?
Yeah,
And where's your garbage go to then?
we'd be taking it to the Janesville landfill. So hauling the trash out of our Janesville location and bringing it back to Janesville at the end of the day.
You have a fuel fee also?
I don't believe that
I didn't
there's a
see it
fuel
in
fee
there.
that's included in this, no. You know, that's another thing that we've gotten a lot of inquiries from some of our other customers about. You know, we've got a bunch of different fuel tables that we're using, but as, you know, things change and prices increase, we've tried to, you know, not necessarily move away from it, but get to like a standard fuel table that everybody's using, so that we don't have some communities that are being charged, you know, starting to be hit with a fuel surcharge at a certain rate, and then other communities that are being charged at a different
Do
rate.
you
So
have any compressed natural gas trucks?
that is a great question. I would have to
What was
inquire
that?
with our operations team on that.
CNG,
Oh.
wondering if they're using those.
I know the average age of our fleet of vehicles right now is 2019. So,
2019?
yeah. And, you know, the cost of equipment and things like that went up, you know, skyrocketed during COVID. So that kind of threw a wrench in things, but you know, it's a fairly.
Sure did.
We
fleet of
realized
vehicle.
that.
Yeah.
Sure did.
But you give the same amount of the big containers to our 6 ones we,
Yeah, yep, same size.
2 here,
Yep,
2
all
with-
included in the cost of the proposal, yep.
because it says here, emergency service building
I
rate sheet.
asked them to itemize that because I felt like we should know what that one is costing so that we can split it with the village, which we never have. So I asked them to pull that out, and they were the only ones that did. Because right now the town's been paying for all of it, because it's not separated in our contract from the whole bill.
The town, we're paying for the ones that are free?
We're paying, it's all part of your contract. So I wanted to know how much does that one cost so that we can bill the village for half of it.
Oh,
Because it's always been part of our contract, and we've covered the full disposal costs out of that building all these years. So I did in the RFP ask for that one to be pulled out, and LRS was the only one that actually did that.
I did have that one listed at no charge.
Did you? Okay, I'm sorry, I missed
No, I
it.
just included it at no charge and.
Oh, at no charge.
Your other ones.
Yeah, we
And
did
I
that.
wanted to know how much that one costs us, because we don't want to pay the whole bill. We want to bill the village for half of it. So I didn't want it to be all thrown in. I wanted it itemized.
Being emergency services,
Yeah.
I talked it over with our team, and because of the work.
So you made that zero.
Because of the work that they do in the proposal,
Oh,
we made it for zero.
so
for
the
them.
proposal would be the same whether you picked up that one or not?
Correct.
Okay, I didn't catch that.
And my apologies, ours would be the same.
Okay. All right.
typically we would include that in the cost with all the other, municipal owned buildings that we requested because it was asked
Yeah,
that
I was
you
looking
see the
at-
pricing on that. I was a little bit confused by that too, but that
Looking at
definitely helps to
so that we can-
clear that up why we were requesting some additional pricing on that one. But, if that's something that we need to include with the other ones, I'm sure that that's something we can make work too.
In here, it talks about that you do not accept empty motor oil or petroleum product type containers as recyclable.
Yeah, we are trying to move away from the motor oils and the antifreezes and things like that.
He's saying empty though. Empty
And it
containers, right?
says, no, it says, motor oil, additional guidelines, motor oil, insecticide, herbicide, hazardous chemical containers are not accepted.
No,
So even though the DNR says that empty motor oil containers, and I just happen to know that particular one, can be recycled. And so, and I can't speak to the herbicide and, the other stuff that's listed here. But quite frankly, I've rinsed out my Roundup containers and tossed the jug in the recycle bin because the jug itself says it's recyclable versus throwing it in the landfill. I mean, to me, it's kind of a horse apiece, but, yeah, that was just a question I had with that.
So with those, I think it just has to do with, the contamination and trying to keep the recyclable materials as clean as we can. So that once those get to our MRF and, the sorting capabilities that we have there, just to try and keep everything as, cleanly as we can, because, and things are constantly changing too with the requirements and things like that. So we're always looking at that and making sure that we're updating the list of items that are and are not accepted.
And why no hardcover books to be recycled?
That's a
I
great,
thought that even the hardcover books, that the materials of the covers, Christie, you would know better than I, because you probably handled more hardcover books than I've seen. But I thought it was all paper type products.
So too. I thought so.
Do we rip the
Where do
covers
you-
off and throw the book itself in the?
where are we looking at that? Is that page 9?
Yes. It says paperback books, and then right after it says no hardcover books. All the companies have their little idiosyncrasies as to what they'll take and not take, kind of thing.
I'm not exactly sure what the stipulation on that one is, but I can definitely reach out to somebody after this and get some clarification on that one.
I would have to assume it'd be something within the covers.
Yeah, that's what I'm leaning towards, but I don't know exactly what's in those covers that wouldn't be accepted, so I don't want to.
And I'm guessing they're all different materials.
Yeah.
It's probably part of the problem, They've changed over the years. So,
Well, if it's plastic, the recycled plastic,
I don't know.
And we've got the stuff on our website with, if you look on the next page with the recycling 101, that's constantly being updated. There's a bunch of videos and informational things on there for residents to go to and just educate themselves on, what our recycling capabilities are and things of that nature. So.
Piggybacking off of the Pelletieri proposal, if I have additional recycles that won't fit in my bin for that particular, do you have any requirements as to how they're supposed to be packaged? I mean, like currently, I think Waste Management allows us to flatten our boxes and bind them up and set them alongside.
Yeah, so, typically with that, if it's every, once in a blue moon that's happening, then that's something that you could call in and schedule some extras to be picked up. That way our drivers and our operations team are aware that there's going to be extras there. They're going to have to get out of the vehicle potentially to collect. But, you know, if that's something where you're constantly using more than what's allowed in the 96-gallon container, then we do have the option for you to, you know, get an additional, you know, set of containers to be placed out curbside every week during collection. That way you don't have to worry about the overfilling it.
I was just thinking holiday season, you know, I mean, typically when some folks do a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And
A lot of Amazon boxes. You say?
And, you know, that's
very true.
That's definitely something with, you know, nowadays with like Amazon and things like that, where residents or you know, people are ordering packages daily on Amazon, so they're accumulate.
People do that?
No.
Oh, yeah. So, I mean, you know, we've got the option in there for the weekly recycle if that's something that we want to explore too.
Okay.
That should combat some of those issues, I think. And that's something that a lot more communities are looking to explore as well.
Here's something actually for everybody, now that we brought up Amazon. You know, the bubble packs, for lack of a better word, the white packages that you rip the top off. That's not listed either as a yay or a nay, because there's no recycling information on these bags, or containers, whatever you want to call it. You know, it's.
If it's not there, you can do it. If it's there and says no, you can't do it.
Don't ask, don't tell.
No, well, that's
Yeah.
what it's about, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I don't mean to speak out of turn, but if it's a bubble wrap lined paper container, that is not recyclable. There's no way to separate that plastic from the paper. But they are moving more towards, Amazon's moving more towards a little more eco-friendly. We kind of jokingly say the tear test. If you can take that bag and rip it, and they have kind of more of like a paper foam padding, that is. But if it's a plastic bubble wrap lined envelope, that is not, there's no way to recycle that plastic in the
So
paper.
that just goes into the regular garbage then?
Correct,
Oh,
And same for the one that's just fully plastic.
correct.
I didn't know that.
On April Fool's Day, my wife had 20 containers outside on their front porch. And she looked, she said, come here, look at all the stuff we're getting up. I think, oh, Jesus, what the hell is going on around there? They're all empty. It's not funny. But just not-
Because it happened to you.
Well, you only got me big time that one time. Maybe twice.
I don't have any more questions.
I'm done.
You want to think about it, or are you going to make a decision?
When do we have to
Yeah.
know for sure?
Our contract's up December 31st
Okay.
this year. You have to give them time to prepare for whoever you go with.
I think I gotta think over it more.
Motion table to our next meeting.
Second.
Motion by Anders, second by Williams to table the item until our next meeting, which will be 16th. All those in favor of that motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried.
Great job there, guys.
Thank
All
you.
three of you.
Thank you.
Appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Appreciate your time.
Next item, discuss and consider proposals for short-term loan to finance the 2024 road maintenance project.
I'm going to pass this out. I don't guarantee that my math is perfect as far as what the final fees and interest really are, but you can see that Lake Ridge, who we do most of our banking with, came in a little higher on interest than one community, which was the lowest interest. But one community does have a documentation fee that brings it back up. And so the net difference in interest and fees, if my math is right, is about $800, is under $800. And I wanted you to make sure that you realize that right now, and for the last 2 years, pretty much or at least a year and a half, we've been getting over 5% interest on all the money we have at Lake Ridge. The last statements were 5.79%. They also give us free fraud protection in the form of positive pay. They have not charged us for our lockbox service at tax time. They were extremely generous and flexible with us with that 10-year note that we didn't take the final draw on until a year after we said we would.
Yeah.
So that bank is working hard for us. I wish they would have come in lowest, but I wanted to make sure that you all were aware just how well they do work for us.
And 5.79% is,
That's why that is why,
That's a
I mean,
huge-
and conversely, now granted, we don't have anywhere near the amount of money sitting at one community that we do at Lake Ridge, but the most recent statement was 1.6% interest for one community. That we have there, which is only under $100,000. But, and
What?
it's under $100,000 that we have there, so, but, and they have made some gestures to say that they would like to get more of our business. But, and I, I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with them either. I just know that Lake Ridge has been outstanding how they have treated us.
I would stay with Lake Ridge.
No, we
Is that your
usually,
motion?
do we usually pay this off early
This
In
was,
March
next month? I
15th.
mean, so I mean, it's,
We pay it off in March.
I wouldn't think we're really dealing with a lot of money there.
no, I think by the time you add up the interest and fees, I think it's under $800 of difference between Lake Ridge and one community.
I'll make that motion. We stay with Lake Ridge.
Motion by DePlay, second by Williams, to stay with Lake Ridge Bank for the short-term loan to finance the 2024 road maintenance projects. Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion carried. Next item, discuss and consider installing pedestrian walkways where the dead ends of Pheasant Run and Morning Dove meet the town village boundary. I had a call from John Williams wondering if we would work with them in doing something.
But they've got a walkway there already.
Well, they made a path.
Yeah,
The students
yeah.
have made a path. I think he wants to remove some of the trees, maybe just put down a gravel base.
On their land,
It would be on both of
a
ours.
little bit of ours, yeah,
Yeah.
Right away.
right.
Right away.
Things that
Yeah.
make you go,
Well, they've paved almost up to the edge of theirs. So
Pardon?
it's mostly ours that's not paved. They paved pretty much right up to the stakes when that
But
was
the
all
kids
staked
have all,
out.
they've made the path.
Yeah,
Well, the path's been there forever.
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean-
They found a way
It was
through.
before the roads were even there. They had a path to the woods, but
I don't have any idea how many kids we're talking about.
I had a call about this also, and it's, the request came from kids that are
Or parents,
Walking.
yeah.
walking, and they're walking for school, they're walking to be with friends, they're walking to attend club groups or library programs, and they want it to be a clearer path, an easier path. And it would just involve our right-of-way area.
But who's gonna maintain it?
that was the question I had. So
I
in the
think,
wintertime, the village doesn't even plow their sidewalks on that side. So who's gonna, because it's a dead end road, there's like no houses on them.
I think we need to have a memorandum of understanding about it.
I hate that word with the village.
Yeah, so do I.
Sorry, I mean, if we gravelled it, I'm not gonna shovel any snow. The only thing I'm gonna do is maybe remove some of the trees that might,
We try to get rid of all the dead trees. I see there's a couple more now, but most of the dead trees we got rid of already, but we're always just leaving the screen there because it's nice to have the privacy. So that's what our residents want.
we start doing stuff with the village to improve things up in that area between the
They
town and the
don't want-
village, that scares me a little bit to
They're
start.
gonna want to go through then. I could see them wanting to push those roads through.
We went through, remember the fires? We went through the fire department with the. And everything was, well, you could put a hose over like, 10 feet. I mean, great.
I'm just worried about, we're gonna get some kid that's gonna be, or some parent of some kid that's gonna be a little bit ticked off because their kid fell down or on the
But
designated.
they're already using it.
But I'm saying but it's,
Without our tacit
Yeah.
approval. How wide is, I'm not familiar with how wide the path, I confess I didn't go.
They
look.
can,
At most 2 feet.
A true path.
It's just dirt
Yeah.
path, yeah.
So if we took down some trees there, are we talking a big cost to throw
Yeah,
down some gravel?
we probably have to get stuff surveyed because we're gonna have a lot of residents say that's my tree.
Yeah, good point.
So you're gonna have to pay for survey.
On the
Yes, you
right of
will.
way?
Yeah, because I've already been yelled at a couple times cutting trees down there.
Well, the right of way
Oh
only
my
goes so far.
gosh, Dan, I'm sorry. Oh, wow.
But the right of way only goes so far. I mean, that's not the whole area there. That's,
but people think
They're
different.
still complaining about it.
Cut a path through, hit the middle of the road and go west.
They'll still complain about it. I'm just saying,
Yeah.
I've been yelled at before up there
I'm
trimming
sure you're
trees.
right. I'm sure you're right. And
They yell at us no matter what, or they tell us not to trim them at all because they don't want to see that side, so.
our thing was always that those people have their privacy. That's why they move there. And it's hard to start interfering with their area, in my
And
opinion.
we do have the barricades are still up there, so you can't go in the middle of the road. You're gonna have to go on either side of the paved surface for us. Like they have sidewalks already designated on the other side. So we'd have to probably do like an angle deal to get to theirs, which is fine, but they have like those barricade things up, on the other side. So they're, ours have been established forever, so ours doesn't have barricades. It's just a dead end. There's
Yeah,
just-
but our lawyer says
tree
that
line.
we would be responsible for maintenance, snow and ice removal.
I know,
On our portion, yeah.
yeah.
I'd say no.
I'd say yes.
How many
I would
kids
put a
use it?
sidewalk in.
This is my point again. How many kids use it?
I don't know.
Is there 150
No.
or are there 2?
I don't
Well,
know.
I don't know. I have no clue.
They've used it enough to make a path. that
Yeah,
you
well, I
can-
mean, that could be for people.
You can
going to
watch,
party.
so I've plowed that area. You can watch the kids walk up Morning Dove from the village. They walk out of the village, up Morning Dove, right across into the new section of the village, down to the school. It's a cut through. There's not a lot of kids in the town up there, so. I mean, if there's a dozen kids in that section of the town, that's probably exaggerating. Most of them up on Morning Dove are older residents. Pheasant Run, there's a lot more kids on Pheasant Run, I would say. But I would think Morning Dove gets used probably more than Pheasant Run. It's a straight shot up the hill for them.
Very interesting. Liability is everywhere. Bill can put in here about liability. That's,
I know.
could be walking and it falling over a curb, Doesn't mean we're
Trip on a
legal.
rock.
Yeah. Doesn't mean we're illegal.
Gravel won't be easy to maintain in the winter.
Do the kids use it in the winter then?
Yeah, it's used all the time.
Mhm.
I mean, if we laid blacktop down on top of the gravel or whatever that we put down, that would be a lot easier. Then we could actually throw some salt out on it,
Then does the village take care of their part then?
Well, they have sidewalk right up to the edge of theirs.
How
I'm pretty
close
sure
is it to
they're,
our property.
I'm pretty sure they're right up to a foot or
Right
two.
close?
Yeah,
According to these pictures, they definitely are.
yeah. They might even be over in a couple spots. I don't know, but it's really close. I know there's a fire hydrant on both of them. I think there's a fire hydrant that's on
Right.
our side.
somebody complained of one family or something, and that's what we're dealing with right here. Apparently.
I've been asked before about it too, but
Well, yeah, of course, but that's been forever.
yeah.
They wanted all the roads through. The village did, and the sidewalks that in our property, and
I had a lady on Smithland that asked if we were ever gonna put sidewalks up the hill and stuff like
Yeah.
that. I said, no.
At where?
She lived in Smithland in the village. That was probably 2 years ago.
because kids don't have to go through there. They can walk down
They can
and
go down and
go
kill
across. I
yeah.
mean, it's
It's probably safer to go down.
only 5 minutes more. Maybe it's something we should close up.
But it's more fun to take a shortcut.
I bet you,
Right.
you wouldn't use it.
I would use it.
No, you wouldn't.
As someone who likes to walk, I think it's helpful to facilitate walking. It's also healthful to walk.
The
The
one,
more we walk,
sorry,
the healthier we are.
See, that's how people spend money.
the one on Pheasant Run, it's actually a little further off the road that they cut through.
I mean, there shouldn't be anybody's property because it's the road, you know, that they just aren't connected. It's straight through right away. It shouldn't be anybody's trees if it's in the middle of the road.
No.
Shouldn't be.
No, shouldn't be.
I
But
mean,
people think they are.
shouldn't be able to, yeah, well, but I mean, it's pretty clear just by looking at this, no, that's not your property.
Yeah.
You know, that's the road.
The one on Pheasant Run where they cut through though, it does go this side of the road. They gotta be crossing pretty close to that guy's property because
Yeah.
he's got a big pine tree in his front yard and they kind of go behind that to go through.
Right, to get to the sidewalk on the
Yeah.
other.
So we would have to cut through and make a different route than they're going now because that one's really close to his property, I would say. They might even be walking in his yard a little bit.
Okay, what are the odds that if you have a bunch of kids or 3 kids and they have the chosen path and they have the pathway that they've used for years? What do you think they're gonna use?
Whatever they want.
Yeah.
And if the ponds froze over, they might even cross down further so they can walk across the ice on the way to school.
And those things are the reason why the village is 40 million in debt.
Yep.
Because it's all nice to do stuff all the time and they just keep borrowing money.
So do
Other
you
than
think all
that-
those kids should walk all the way, if they live on Pheasant Run and they're walking to school, they should walk all the way around down Sandpiper? And you think they should walk all that ways when it's right there? Would you?
Yeah,
Had to walk uphill both ways. So.
yeah. What?
Would
And a snowstorm too.
you?
No, just cross through the trees. I wouldn't
Yeah.
complain about it. I thought it was fun.
If you didn't have the path there, they'd go another way. Period.
But I mean, they're gonna go that way. They're gonna go that way.
They will. Nothing's gonna stop them.
Good for the kids. Discovery. It's all about that.
Okay, I'm gonna take a risk. I will make a motion that we follow up on this and ask Dan to come back with a suggestion for how to do it.
Yeah, I can go take a look at it tomorrow.
Feasibility study.
Okay, Dan Dreesen, feasibility study, not beyond that. And that,
Would you include talking to the village and seeing who's going to pay what?
yes, that's part of the motion as well. Thank you. I just didn't fill it out. Thank you.
There was a motion by Williams. Is there a second? Is there a second? I'll second it. By Hampton. Does everybody know what the motion was? Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign.
Aye.
Motion failed. Moving on. Discuss and consider certificate of insurance bond amount for the weight variance permit for Alliant Energy to bring in a new substation equipment on Gaston Road. Only 125,000 pounds.
Yeah, I mean, it's over by 45,000. He did send me a proof of insurance today, just to give us an idea. I mean, they are plenty covered. They would just have to add us to their sheet here, but if that was the route you guys wanted to go, or if you want to ask for a bond.
What does it affect on the road? How does it affect it?
All depends how many trailer tires there are.
Well, but
With the weight, yeah.
My point is it at the time to take pictures of the road?
Well,
yes.
I would before they do it anyway.
Oh, you would?
Yeah.
Okay. That would be the only thing
And
I would
he's-
be against.
And
I
he
mean,
said they're documenting too, because he's aware they've already broke a chunk by the driveway working up there, so
where do they come from? It goes from, how do they get into the
they're gonna
town?
come off of N and go right up to the site on
Oh,
Gaston
off the
Road.
end there, huh? Oh,
Yeah,
Yeah. That's about as minimal of exposure
yeah,
on the
Busy
town
and
road
get
as you
Probably,
get.
yeah.
yeah, it's like
Unless the
1,400 feet.
helicopter did.
Yeah. And it's only a 63-foot trailer, so they'll be able to back it in off the road. Okay, they won't have to crane it in or anything, yeah.
53 foot, so it's only gonna be.
It's standard semi trailer,
I
basically.
make a motion to approve this.
So wait, so they've shown proof of insurance. Their liability insurance is all $1 million, but their all risk property is $5 million. The only thing that's missing is it doesn't include the town as an additional insured, so I would say it should have that. But I think the question to you is, are you gonna just accept their insurance or do you want them to bond?
You want a bond?
So we come up halfway up the hill now. We started about halfway up the hill,
We
right?
start just after the pit, yeah.
So we got about quarter mile.
1,000 feet, 1,000 to 1,200 feet.
Bond would be easier for us to collect on, wouldn't it?
I mean, if we're an additional insured, I wouldn't approve the insurance without that.
What are you thinking about for a bond? What the,
$1 million.
what do you,
Yeah,
think? What would you think for a bond? What, how much?
5 million?
Well, why would it be that much? I mean, it's,
Shouldn't be, I mean, a mile of road is on, you're only talking a little, what, 1.2 million now to do a mile of road, so.
bond for $1 million?
2 million.
2 million.
Because I mean, you're not talking, they're not gonna have to probably do base or anything. You know, they're gonna just bust the blacktop is what they're gonna do. So you're gonna have to remove the blacktop, replace the blacktop. So, I mean, $1 million would be plenty.
Here's a stupid question. Remember when the village was putting sewer in on Vilas Road up by my house,
Yeah,
by the
yep.
farm? They only repaired half of the road, even though we know that they did the other half. If them coming up the road damages,
Our side, that would never got repaired.
no, I'm just saying on Gaston Road
And
with this project.
Gaston's the same way. Only half of it got done when they did their water line.
Yeah.
But they gotta come in and go out. So this has to stay active until,
Right, but the trailer's gonna be empty going out.
no, it'll be full. It's a substation. So they have all the equipment set up on it. So they basically take all their
Oh,
wires,
this isn't
connect to this
Dropping
thing.
off the additional,
No, this is a mobile power unit.
gotcha,
Yeah.
okay, I understand.
That's why it weighs so much.
Good until 3/1 of 25.
Yeah, but yeah, they're gonna be pulling it out when it hopefully froze yet. I told them if it's spring, fall, they can't get it out.
Yeah,
And he understood.
you never know.
They understood that.
Yeah, he was good with that.
Well, I make the motion to approve with a $1.5 million bond.
Second.
Motion by Fonger, second by Williams to require a $1.5 million bond for the conditional
Yeah.
weight variance permit for Alliant Energy.
That's what I said.
Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Discuss and consider providing notice of termination of agreements with Kennedy Hills and Vinnie addition to Sky High Homeowners Association for stormwater facility mowing effective December 31st of 2024.
So they're taking over the mowing?
We're telling them they're going to.
Oh, we're telling them.
We're not going to do it anymore after this year.
And they go along with this?
We don't.
They don't know yet.
They don't know anything about this?
They don't.
They hire us to mow it right now.
I know, I understand that, but I mean, they shouldn't be surprised by this.
It's in our agreements, either one can opt out with 30-day notice. So this is a question of, do you want to provide them notice of opting out effective the 1st of next year?
I would say yes.
Yeah, why
I
not?
would agree. I'd move approval.
Second,
Motion by
For December or
Ender, second by
December 31st or January 1st?
Duplay for December 31st.
Okay.
Discussion on the motion.
Yeah, I just don't like to surprise people. I think it's
We're
not,
giving them
It's September.
how are we giving them anything? They
4
don't
months
know about
notice.
this.
4
Well,
months.
I
notice.
understand that.
If they were watching, if it's a public agenda,
I remember when the police or the village walked in there and surprised us pulling out of the agreement with the police. Big surprise. That was not good. They thought it was, but I just don't agree with surprises for anybody. And it's probably good. I mean, I'm not saying it's not good.
this give
We're giving
them,
them this much notice that we're not able to do it next year.
Mhm.
we're actually going to give them more like 90 days notice
Yeah.
than the required 30. So
All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Public Works, road right of way.
Question before you start that one.
Okay.
Do we have an obligation to notify each of the landowners or the property owners
Well,
about
just the
that?
HOA,
Just
the
the
agreement is with
HOA,
the
Just the HOA? Okay,
That's who our agreement was with.
okay.
And you're on.
All right. Road right away permits, we had one for that Mid-America Spectrum. They have not listed a contractor yet, so once you get that figured out,
And right, and they haven't paid the deposit.
yeah, they have to pay deposit, but I've approved it, so it's in the process. It's on Nadvig Road. Oh, I lost the drawing. But yeah, it's just charter, run from underground from one ped to another. Doesn't even look like a house hookup. It was just running from one ped to another for some reason. But yeah, it looked pretty. It's just one boring. Yeah, just one ped to another. They must have a deadline, I'm guessing. And then public works activity, I mean, we're just mowing grass. Roadwork's been done. I was mowing ditches again a little bit. Now that'll wait for a little while. I'm gonna have to take 2 weeks off. Surgery Thursday.
Can't you do anything to get out of
But I'll
work?
be answering phones and emails and stuff like that from home, so I'll be back in 2 weeks.
Surgery, jeez.
Yeah, I completely ruptured it. It's not attached anymore. So
how's that feel?
fine, actually. I mean, I was surprised. It's a give a burning feeling every once in a while, but not a lot of pain.
So what drugs are you taking?
Zero. Take ibuprofen and baby aspirin.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
Comment on the intersection of Vilas and Coffee Town.
Okay.
That's some of the best restoration work I have seen from the contractors in a very long time.
Line of energy gas, yeah.
Yeah. However, then that's a
They dug a
line,
huge hole.
what's that?
Southeast corner.
Yeah. There was a guy, you know, that mailbox that's right on that corner also?
Yeah.
I don't know who the guy is, but he drove Suburban over the top of all that freshly planted dirt to go check his mail. And then he drives up back out on the road.
He does that all the time.
What the heck?
And the gentleman that lives on the corner,
The White House?
the farm back there, I can
Oh,
never remember
O'Brien?
his name. He's a Hamburg or Houston, isn't he?
Oh, Mark.
Is it Mark? He mows that and keeps it
Is
looking.
Oh, the farm, or the farm?
Yeah, the farm.
Oh, that's Kim Houston's husband, Vassetti.
Okay, that's who mows it and takes care of it so nice all the time. He mows that all the time. He fertilizes it too.
Oh,
But yeah, that guy, the Suburban at Texas Mail, he just drives across it all the time. Rain or shine, snow or
First time
not.
I'd seen it was this morning, you know, and go, what the heck?
Yeah, he always has. We've noticed that for quite a while. Other than that, yeah, we'll just keep business as usual.
Okay. Clerk treasurer office update.
I'm gonna be gone for the next week, so. Amber and Jenna are in charge. I forwarded you guys an email this morning. There was a
Yes.
request from somebody asking us to put a, basically a news and notice out through our website. To show,
A link to the
a
MG.
a link to
school
a page on MG that is addressing their financial issues. So I just wanted to make sure that that was something that we wanted to be
No,
stepping into.
no. I think putting the link out there is okay.
I
If somebody
think-
wants to go to it, they
Public awareness.
Yeah.
Exactly, and that's the information that they should have been doing all along,
Yep.
if they would have been the law, they would have known that.
We actually had a call the other day when you were gone. It might be helpful to have something like that that we can just say, you know, here's a resource for you.
Yeah, I'm not against it. I just wanted to make sure that nobody on the board felt like that was stepping into something we didn't want to.
Just a
I don't
link.
think so.
Give me that again. Is it they want money or what?
No, just putting
You
a
never know.
link on our website.
I haven't read it yet.
Grove School District.
You haven't read any of it yet?
There's a page.
Not that article, no.
There's a page that says what's going on and discloses some information or whatever. I mean, you can see when you see it, but they want us to just send a link. So we would do one of our news and notice posts that goes out to everybody who's signed up for that list. And then it sits on our website. If anybody isn't signed up and they look at the news and notice area, it would sit there.
Well, I'll tell you, Mrs. Millage wrote one hell of an email. I was proud of what I read about the school.
Would you forward it to me? Because
Yeah, I asked Linda if it's still there. Yeah, but
asked her to, because
She-
I.
could it have been Facebook?
There's a Facebook group that is
Yeah,
started.
they're
that-
trying to recall
and
the whole
if you
school
aren't
board,
on
I
it-
guess.
But they gave the emails to the three that have been on there longest to say, hey, right,
They should.
you'll send to these people and tell them to resign.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know, the information that links to is really out of date.
Yeah, I'm
Oh,
sure.
really?
I didn't dig that far, but yeah,
I mean, it's a good effort, finally,
yeah,
but it's out of date also.
yeah, I didn't take that time to get very close. Anything else?
Okay, board reports, and communications. Thursday, we have the virtual meeting on the bridge down here on N. I think they're doing the bridge on BB out there by Dave Mule.
Yeah, I don't know. I called Johnny, didn't answer today again, so I don't know
Really?
if he's avoiding me, he doesn't want to answer. But he might be off this week too. I don't know.
No,
Oh,
they're gonna do the one down on N until 27.
This one starts the 9th, I think you said, right? Yeah, the 9th. I think you said 9/9.
On the 9th of September already?
Yeah.
I didn't look back, but what
Not-
time does that mean?
It's not the one you're thinking about.
I
What
put it,
time?
It's the one way out by Dave Mule's
Oh,
okay.
house.
I
all the way up by
gave you
there.
a notice.
I don't have it here.
Well,
I do have
I
it.
mean, we didn't, unless it's 10 to 11.
it's right in front of you. I put it at your place.
You did?
The sheet, there, it was out on your desk when you got here.
Okay.
You and Mike Duplay were the two
Yep.
that were coming, right? I gave you
Yeah.
each one.
What time is it?
10 to
Oh,
11.
10 in the morning. Okay, well, that's possible. And where is that at?
Here.
Okay. Video one, huh?
Yeah.
Off the TV. Zoom.
Committee reports, Sky Grove Fire District.
I wasn't there.
I was.
Yeah. We're gonna do budget next month. We're gonna meet 9/23, I think it is. They're still expecting the new squad come the end of the month or 1st of October. Had a ladder testing last week. Did get a letter from General Engineering on the CO device being gone. I ask you to forward that to the village and to the fire department. We have a copy.
What did it say?
Yeah, we don't.
Oh,
we
it's
don't have to
okay,
have it
yeah.
because we have the other thing. Flint Hall, did they wash the?
Gutters are all cleaned, downspouts are all cleaned, siding and windows are all washed. Yeah, looks really good.
Who did all that?
JD Molsted's
Oh,
son.
really?
Yeah, I forget the name of his business now.
And you got the note about the battery and the
Yep.
clock?
We got the clock and then the guy said they gotta go this week and grab a vent for that. Looks like somebody kicked it or something.
Yeah. I don't know if you.
How are the gutters in there, in that building? Are they clean, fairly clean all the time or?
No, the front ones fill up. The tops have screen. We have the gutter helmets on them.
Oh, you do?
So that
Okay,
ones
good.
stay pretty clean, but the lower ones, we usually clean like twice a year.
Oh, you do?
But this last year, they got neglected a little bit, but we cleaned them out.
Set budget for next year, the same as 24.
JDM Softwash is the name of his company. Does houses.
How'd they get to the
commercial.
top?
He had a lift.
Did he?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Anybody have anything else?
We will, yeah, I could say we're gonna have an emergency government meeting next Tuesday and we're gonna discuss still the emergency call list and really get it really refined a little more. And then we're gonna talk about maybe talking to and maybe meeting with some of the emergency government committees from around our area and see how we meld together. So
Where you gonna do your budget?
It's
I
on,
think it can be the same, right?
Oh,
it's on your agenda.
Yeah, okay. You got my
Yep.
text then, huh?
Yep.
In your personal
Yep.
phone.
I know, I got it.
I thought you were leaving.
I was on my way home from Shawnee, but I got it.
Did you get the contract proposal from Tina from Strand?
I don't think, did I? Did you send it to me?
She said she did. I mean,
I don't know.
it's finally
I
going
wasn't
up
really-
oh, much?
$1,000.
Oh, that's not bad.
I remember you saying she was sending it, but I don't know if it came yet.
Can I squeeze in one more announcement while Kim's looking?
Sure.
When you were at your fire district meeting, I went to the Eagle Scout Court of Honor honoring 3 Eagle Scouts, Tate Hepler, David Schuchert, and Levi Wergler. And remember
These are
the
new scouts, or
Yes.
new Eagles?
new Eagles, and it was the 26th. And you remember the young scout that came with the Scoutmaster wanting a project? And it was really a good feeling to see. I mean, you have told us about what they've done and we've seen the work, but to see the pictures that they took, you know,
Yeah.
every step along the way and the pride, I was really proud of the town that we worked with them on it and they were appreciative. So this is a picture of the part of the ceremony. So
They have a lot of pictures of the tables and
Nice.
benches.
they did, yes.
That's good.
So I thought it was great. I said, we're still here if they have others that want to come. We'll
Yeah.
come up with projects.
What were their projects?
They built those benches.
Well, the bench, yeah,
Yeah.
you called them something
Yeah,
weird. like-
both.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
I remember that.
And then they
Yeah,
recovered,
they did a good job.
and they recovered all the picnic tables.
Yeah, that
Right.
too, yeah.
And they had pictures of that also. And yeah, it was great.
Was that the 3 together or something?
Yes, the
Oh,
3
I didn't
together.
realize that. Okay.
Two of them have been in Scouts for many years, and the third is a friend of theirs. And he just kind of was watching from the outside when he was a freshman in high school. He decided he wanted to join Scouts, so they were working toward their Eagle, and he said, I want to become an Eagle, and that was part of, he was the last minute, but he was determined, and he did it.
Nice.
It is, I thought it was a great story.
Yeah.
Did you find it?
Steve, I only got your draft. She hasn't, the draft that she sent you that you forwarded, but not the actual one yet. She hasn't sent it yet. But she knows I need it for that 23rd meeting, so.
Okay, all right.
Move we adjourn.
Second.
Motion by DePlay, second by Williams, adjournment. All in favor signify by saying aye.
All right.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried.
What do you